this whole wall, which is shared with my studio room, to vibrate and makes noise. So that is not ideal when recording and mixing. I have the saddest home studio ever, and yet I get paid to write and mix music for artists. I have no acoustic treatment, no fancy gear, and my wife and I homeschool our 4 children who are all 5 and under, and they can make quite a bit of noise. Not only that, but I can't play an instrument, and I know only the basics when it comes to music theory. I tell you all this to let you know there's absolutely nothing holding you back from producing pro quality music from home, and I'm gonna prove it to you in my multi-part series here on YouTube. I'm calling my Saddest Studio Ever series. I think this will probably have around 8 parts, maybe 9 parts, we'll see. And I'm gonna go through my entire process from nothing to idea to actually creating a finished song here in my saddest home studio ever. I'll show you the cheapest home studio setup possible. I'll show you how to write hit songs from home, even if you can't play an instrument or don't know very much music theory or any music theory at all. I'll show you how to record great pro sounding vocals from home, even if you have budget equipment. And again, not a great studio space. And I'll walk you through how to mix and master your own music from home, and even how to release and promote your music as well so you actually get streams, even if you have no fans. In fact, I'm going to be showing you so much in this multi-part series, I could probably package this all into a course and sell it for hundreds of dollars, but I'm going to be giving this to you for free here on YouTube. It's basically a free YouTube course, you can consider it, that walks you through everything you need to know to get started producing great quality music from home. So buckle up, get ready to take some notes, and most importantly, be sure to implement along the way, because just watching these videos isn't going to do anything from you. You actually have to implement what you're learning and follow along with each video. Let me know in the comments, you know, what you took away, what you implemented from each video. So that's a little extra accountability for yourself so that you are actually implementing what you're learning along the way. I'm also going to be introducing a ton of awesome resources for you along the way in the description below each video in this series. Some will be free, some will be paid, but so be sure to check out the description in each video in this series as well, so you don't miss any of those great resources. Now, this is just the trailer episode, so episode 0 for this series. And so starting out, I'm going to show you around my studio, do basically a studio tour, so you can see that I have such a sad home studio, but still produce pro quality music from home and even get paid by other artists to write music, arrange music, and do mixing. Now, before I show you around just how sad my studio is, be sure to grab my free mixing checklist in the description below, or go to orpheusaudioacademy.com/mixing checklist. And this will walk you through a proven step-by-step system for producing pro quality music from home. I'm going to be referencing this in future videos, so go ahead and grab this yourself. Again, it's completely free, so that you have this ready to go as you get started going through this series. So let me show you why I call my studio the saddest studio ever, and it's because it is not acoustically treated and is not an ideal environment for recording or mixing. All right, here I am in my garage, and no, thankfully this is not my studio environment. This would never work, especially not in Florida in the summertime, but this wall is where my studio is. Right here, this is my studio. And right above it, you see, is this. And this is our air conditioning unit, part of our air conditioning system. And when this runs, it will cause this whole wall, which is shared with my studio room, to vibrate and makes noise. So that is not ideal when recording and mixing. We also got this beauty right here, which is our water softening system. And again, the air conditioning. This will run, both of these systems will run. And this window right here is the window to my studio. So you can hear this in my studio as well. And right now the window's open, so when I'm recording and mixing, I probably should have that closed. That is not ideal though, because that makes a lot of noise when mixing, mastering, recording. You don't want that on your recordings. But we are not done, as behind this door is our laundry room. So not only do I have the issue of outside noises, but I also have some inside noises, including the laundry room here, which is right next to my studio as well. Right, my studio is right on the other side of this wall. And so then if I walk this way, you can see, boom, right here is my studio. And to top it off, right on the other side of this wall is my children's bedroom. And sometimes they can be a little noisy.
Look at
Alright, so I thought I'd just give you a little bit of a studio tour so you can see just how sad my saddest studio ever is. And it's kind of messy right now. I need to clean it up, but I figured why clean it up, because that would make it look less sad. So I'll just leave it the way it sometimes is, as it is right now. So again, so this is the door. So I got a little bit of foam here, which I just got recently, just because a company gave it to me so that I could create a product post video on Amazon. So that's another great thing about being a music producer and putting out content and building an audience is people give you stuff for free. So that's pretty cool. Then I got these lights, also got these for free. So most of the stuff I have, I've got for free. It just shows like you don't need a huge budget. This microphone set up here, I have this table here, because my wife and I do a podcast as part of our band. So we're in a band together. So that's kind of our other project I'm doing besides Orpheus Audio Academy. We have our own music, our own band, and we're kind of just launching that now. And as part of that, we're creating content. And so we have a podcast. So that's what this is kind of for our podcast setup. And these microphones, boom arms, interface, all that is part of a package. I'll actually have all this stuff linked in the description below as well. This was given to me for free as well. Then I got my shelves over here, which were supposed to be kind of decorative, but I had to clean it up. That helmet, Iron Man helmet, was given to me for free. I'm not really an Iron Man fan per se. The battery died on that. It used to be voice activated. Close the mask. That helmet was also given to me. Got some old trophies up there from when I played sports back in the day. Painting that my wife made me. My first album. My football helmet from when I played football in high school. So I don't know if many people out there are familiar with like Brady Quinn, but same high school as Brady Quinn. Just a little bit after he graduated. Just some other kind of random stuff on here. Kind of a studio sign, which was like got as a Christmas present from Temu or something. And a bunch of microphones. Again, those were all given to me for free. So you don't need to have tons of microphones. You can get by with just one microphone. And then for like acoustic treatment, again, this was sent to me for free. This is just a old box spring that I have up here because we don't really have anywhere else to put it. And so we kind of just have it in here to try to help absorb sound a little bit. This is an actual mattress. There's more foam that was given to me, but I haven't set it up yet because I've been trying to do this series, and I want to do this series and do it in a sad studio. And so if I put up acoustic foam, then my studio is less sad. So I'm waiting to do this series, and I'm going to put up the foam. Here's just an extra mattress just sitting in here because we have nowhere else to put it. And again, this was sent to me to do a product video on. And then just got some shelves with a bunch of messy cords and stuff that I need to clean up and get rid of. So otherwise, not a whole lot in here. I got a guitar down here for when I learn guitar, because I'm planning on learning guitar, but I don't know guitar yet. And otherwise, that's about it. Then I have my actual desk set up here. So I've got my laptop. I've got an external monitor. That was given to me for free. That was a gift. And then I got my microphone here. Both those were gifts. And then I actually bought these monitors because these monitors are amazing for small studios that are imperfect. These are the IK Multimedia iLoud micro monitors. I have a whole video on that. I'll have that link below. Again, part 2 in this, or part 1 in this video. This is part 0. This is the trailer, but the next part is going to go into all the gear you need, just the essentials for less than $300 to get started making music. So I won't cover all this too in depth, but now you can kind of see how what my studio looks like and how it's kind of sad. I don't have any real professional things going on here, but that's okay. We can still make professional music. I'll also show you in this series, and a little bit later on in this video too, I'll show you some songs that I made just on a laptop in a less than ideal environment. So if my sad studio wasn't enough, my background in music also makes it so that I probably shouldn't be where I am at today, because early on my experiences with music were very negative, stemming from public school and private school experiences with music classes. I hated them, didn't see how they were practical, led to a lot of embarrassing situations, right? I'm like, why did I learn like the whole do, re, mi thing? Like, how does that help me make music, right? Like to this day, I don't even use anything I learned from those classes. But what really probably was the catalyst for me was a computer game called Sim Tunes, where these little bug / instrument creatures would crawl along colored blocks that you placed, and these blocks I didn't even know at the time they were notes, music notes.
Just draw with the colored dots that double as musical notes. Then watch and listen as a quartet of animated bugs dance around the screen, triggering bursts of light and sound each time they pass over a different colored dot or line.
And so you could assemble different notes and create songs basically with this computer game. And I didn't know what I was doing. I would just place a whole bunch of random blocks and choose different bug instrument creatures to play them. And most of the time it was just noise. It didn't sound good, but every once in a while I would hear something like, hey, that sounded actually kind of good. It was actually some kind of, melodic or something. So I must have, inadvertently, just from placing random colored blocks, I placed some notes together that were in the same scale and sounded good together. And so that's kind of what I figured out. Oh, these colors sound good. These colors sound good. And then I would make songs, and I played that for like hours and hours. But that was pretty much all I did for music for years and years until I was in my late teens, and I saw my dad creating music in a I now know is called a digital audio workstation called Digital Orchestrator Pro, I believe it was. And he showed how you can use MIDI sounds, use a keyboard and play different sounds. And for example, one of the instruments was this like random gunshots pitched at different sounds. I'm like, whoa, what's that? So that's how I got started in making music. I'm like, hey, that sounds kind of like sim tunes. If I can I don't have to know the notes, I don't have to know music, I don't have to know how to play an instrument. I can just hit random keys and create sounds. And so that's how I got started. Eventually, really it was using Cubase is when I really got started, when I was, I think it was when I turned 18, around that time. And so I started creating songs in Cubase, but it was absolutely horrible because, again, I didn't know any keys, or I didn't know what an A, B, a C, or anything. That wasn't knowing music theory, didn't know how to play an instrument. I didn't know how to use my DAW, didn't know what EQ or compression was or anything like that. I didn't even know how to quantize my music. So for probably a whole year, I was creating songs, and all the different instruments and sounds weren't, on the grid. They weren't in time with one another. So it was so bad, so awful. But for some reason, I just became addicted, and I just kept creating music, and eventually got better and better. And I realized, this is something I want to do. Also, just as a bucket list thing, I got together with a friend of mine who, his name is Levi, and he's behind the project Night. You can look him up on Spotify. I also have him linked below. And he helped me finish my album. I kind of just wanted it to be a bucket list thing. And that was my first album, Aphelion. But after that, I'm like, I'm hooked. This is what I want to do for a living, for a career. And Levi and we actually even ended up starting our own band together called Lines. Unfortunately, we never actually published any of the music we made together, but I think it was pretty awesome. Here's what a couple of the songs sounded like. And so then I really started getting serious about learning music production, and that's when I found my first gig recording for this artist of sisters who created gospel music. They were called the Long Family Singers, and I recorded their album in 3 days, and they ended up selling hundreds and hundreds of copies, which is pretty awesome. And I even ended up marrying one of those sisters, so I think that worked out pretty well. And I'm like, hey, I need to upgrade my skills. I just moved to Florida, and I found a local studio that also was a college, and that's where I went. I learned audio engineering, and went on after that to found my own YouTube channel and business here, Orpheus Audio Academy, to teach what I have learned. And to this day, I still can't play an instrument, still know only the basics of music theory, but I think that just goes to show if I can do this, then you can definitely do this too, because you probably have a lot more skills, knowledge, and talent than probably I have. So you should be very encouraged. By the way, this video is sponsored by Lander Studio, which is an incredible tool for you as an aspiring music producer. I'll be talking more about them later on in the series because they're just going to be so helpful for you. But you can see it gives you everything you need to create and release your own music. You get access to 3 million plus premium samples, 40 plus must-have plugins, unlimited AI mastering, unlimited distribution so you can get your music onto Spotify and those other online stores, and a whole lot more. And it starts at just $8.25 a month, which is incredible. And you can even save 20% off your first year when you use my link. Just go to orpheusaudioacademy.com/lander. So outside of the basic gear you're going to need, which I'm going to cover in my next video in this series, you're not going to find much more bang for your buck than Lander Studio for everything that it gives you as a music artist. All right, back to the video. So let me know in the comments below, what do you want to see me cover in this series? And with that, be on the lookout for episode 1. That should be coming soon. And that's going to break down how to go about getting the necessary equipment that you need to start producing music from home, and just the bare essentials that you need and none of the fluff. And don't forget to grab my free mixing checklist in the description below. This will save you a ton of time and give you a proven system for producing pro quality music from home. It's completely free, so be sure to grab that and go ahead and watch episode 1 now. It's probably up by now. You should see it in a box on the screen. So click that box and go watch episode 1 now of my Saddest Studio Ever series.